Our mic on. Hey, let's try that again. Hi, everybody. It's Carrie. I'm here again with all of you on the perfect tips and tricks. Very happy to be here with you. I am Carrie with OESD. I'll give you guys a couple seconds to join me. If you're out there, say hi. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what the weather's like. Tell us what you had for lunch. Whatever is gonna make you let me know you're out there. So today we will be talking to Kelly Rushing, who is one of our fabulous educators, and she will be teaching us all about how to make a really cute Easter egg in the hoop zipper pouch. She is a lovely, lovely friend of mine, and I am really excited to have her with us. So looks like everybody's here. Let me pop over to Kelly. Kelly, hi. How are you?
Hi, Carrie. I am fabulous. The sun's out today, so I'm a happy camper.
It's wonderful. Glad to have you with us to do an Easter project. I think we have a little bit of time. This one goes together pretty quick, so I know maybe everyone isn't together at Easter like we'd like to be, but we will be together soon, and you can save these for when that time is on us.
Sure, you can mail them,
Heck yeah, that's a great point. They're nice and flat, so they would mail easily.
Yeah. Put a gift card inside and off you go.
Awesome. See, that's why we got you around to remind us the easier way to do it. Fantastic. So, take it away.
All right. So I am super excited to be here today. I've been sewing and sewing and sewing and sewing. And my sewing room, I had to really clean up this morning. But anyway, so I wanted to show you a quick little Easter project. And I don't know how many of you have done in the hoop projects. But if you haven't, they're very, very easy. And I know a lot of people are kind of scared of them because they look at them and they see zippers or pockets or things like that. I think, oh gosh, I'm never going to be able to do that. But I thought this would be a really fun, easy little project. I'm going to hold it up a little closer so you can see it.
So cute.
Isn't it cute? Little zipper. And so it's super easy. And I'm going to tell you a couple of things that you're going to need for this project. And then I'm not as good as some people at videos, so I'm just going to do a PowerPoint. I hope that's okay with everybody.
It's great.
It is what it is. So you're going to need Ultra Clean and Tear stabilizer, and you just need one layer of that. And it's one of my favorite stabilizers, and I'll just tell you a little bit about it in a second. You're going to need some of our tape. This is our tearaway tape, expert embroidery tearaway tape, and it is one of my favorite things. I love it because I don't like to pin anything, but it tears off really easy. It sticks to your project well enough to keep everything perfect. You're going to need some fabrics and threads, and then this little tool right here that I'm going to talk about later. This is our point and press tool, one of my very favorite things. And I have to tell you a little secret. Mine has disappeared, and I had to go meet in a parking lot to get one from Tamara.
That was a no contact handover, I hope.
It was. So yes, we stealthily met in the McDonald's parking lot. So anyway, I'm going to go through the PowerPoint, and then I have a couple of them that I have just they're completely embroidered, but I haven't finished turning them, and I'll show you how to turn those at the end. So I'm going to go to my PowerPoint, and let's see if I can do this. Share. All right. Okay, so this collection is Collection 12752. It's the In the Hoop Easter egg zipper pouches. And let's see. Okay, there we go. It has 4 designs in it. It has the little floral one. It has the paisleys, a cute little, looks almost like maybe cross stitch or something like that. And then the last one is a blank one. So with the blank one, you could actually put your own designs or a name or anything in it on it that you want. So that is the collection. And then the stabilizer is Ultra Clean and Tear. And this is one of my favorite stabilizers. It's a medium weight wash away, tear away stabilizer. And it has really good stabilization for medium and high stitch count designs. I like that it's very soft and flexible. And you use it on woven fabrics, including towels, when you don't want a permanent backing. It tears away very easily, and all the excess stabilizer virtually disappears after a couple of washings. And what I also love is it's available and fusible, which is my favorite. And so with this project, we're going to be doing some turning it twice, and we're going to have to tear away some stabilizer, and this stabilizer works perfectly for that.
And Kelly, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, because
Sure.
if you guys have been watching, you know we use the Ultra Clean and Tear Plus on the apron, the tea towel apron, and that's the pressure sensitive version of this, right?
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes.
Oh, that's all right. I learned, if you haven't watched that video, definitely go back and watch it. We talk about the differences between the pressure sensitive stabilizers. And the great thing about Ultra Clean and Tear is that as you launder it, all those little fibers kind of break down over time even more. So it's perfect for an in the hoop project like this, where you aren't going to be able to remove all of the things, necessarily
Absolutely.
by tearing, right?
Yes, correct. So good. Awesome. Okay. So the fabric that I used on my first one was some batiks, but you can use any fabric that you want. You're going to need 2 pieces for the top half, and they need to be cut 6x4 approximately. The bottom halves, you're going to need 2 6-inch squares. And then there's an inner lining that you'll need to cut 1 piece 12x6, and then you're going to fold and press it to create a 6x6. So it'll be folded wrong sides together and pressed. And then there's a small 6x6 that you're going to fold in half to create a 6x3. And then you need 1 back piece that's about 6 inches by 8 inches. And so, and what I love about all of our projects is the PDF always has everything you need on it to make the project. So I just pulled that right from the PDF. And, Carrie, I know has showed several times how to find those on the website. And I always say, if you've had a design for a while, go to the website and just get the latest and greatest, because if there's been any changes to the, maybe somebody finds a mistake or something, it's always good just to go to the website and get the new instructions. Usually there's not mistakes, but every once in a while there's, a minor one or something. But I also like it because I just open up my iPad. I don't have to print anything out, and I can just look at it on my iPad. So. All right, so let's get into making this guy. You're going to hoop 1 sheet of Ultra Clean and Tear stabilizer, and because this is just the tear away without the, fusible or anything like that, there is no right or wrong side to it. So you'll hoop that in the hoop, and you're going to sew color 1, which is a zipper placement guide. So you can see on the screen, it just puts the little placement where you want to put your zipper. Now let's talk about zippers a little bit. When you're working in the hoop, you never ever want to use a zipper that is metal. I know there's some really pretty ones out there, but no, because you're going to be using a zipper that's longer than what you need, and you're going to be laying it across and sewing over it and then cutting off the excess. So you always want to use nylon zippers, and they're very inexpensive. And I don't know if I've got mine handy, but we're all kind of stuck at home when using what we have. So I think the zipper that I actually used for this little 6-inch pouch was about 22 inches long.
That's right. We use what we have, right?
That's right. So you're going to tape the zipper over that placement line. So you'll center it in the placement line, and you want to make sure that the tab is facing up where you can see it, so that you can actually open and close it. And you want it to be hanging out of the sewing area. So in the first picture, I have it a little bit close there, but that's because when I took the first picture where I actually had it hanging off of the hoop, you couldn't see where the tab was. So I wanted to make sure you could see that, yes, the tab is there. And then the rest of it's going to be hanging off to the right, and you'll just tape that in place. And then what it's going to do is stitch color 2, which is a zipper tack down. So it just sews that in place. And then if you want it this time, you can remove your tape because it's now sewed to the stabilizer. It's not going anywhere. All right, so then this is where when I'm doing in the hoop projects, I always look at my instructions, even if I've done it a bunch of times, because sometimes you feel like it's counterintuitive and it's not going to work right. But if you follow the instructions, it's going to come out perfect every time. So you'll place one of the 6x4 top pieces right side down over the top of the zipper and tape it in place. And so what you want, Carrie, can you see the arrow?
Yeah, I can. Hopefully they can too.
Yeah. So this top part is going to be lined up with the top edge of the zipper. And so all of it is down here in the bottom area of the hoop. You're going to tape it in place, and then you're going to remove the hoop from the machine. And then make sure that you don't remove the project from the hoop. I know that sounds funny, but it does happen. So you'll just take the hoop off, you'll flip it over, and you're going to place the other 6x4 piece right side down directly over the front piece and tape it in place. You'll be able to see that front piece, through the stabilizer. Make sure that you tape it really well, like the corners and stuff, because do you see, well, it wasn't this piece, but another one. I didn't tape very well on one of them, and my fabric actually flipped over, and I didn't notice it till I was finished. So stuff happens.
We've all done that. That's for sure.
Yes, we have. So then you're going to put the hoop back on the machine, and you're going to stitch, I don't know what that is. So color 3, the top fold line. And so basically what you're doing is the machine, like if you were sewing this on your regular sewing machine, you would be sewing a straight line, sandwiching the zipper in between your 2 pieces of fabric. That's exactly what you're doing with the embroidery machine. It's just doing it for you, okay? Once it sews that line, you're then going to remove the tape. You're going to, and remove the hoop from the machine. And then you'll fold the fabric up to the top and kind of finger press it in place. And then you'll also flip it over and do the same thing to the back. Make sure you tape that back piece in place and then put the hoop back on the machine. And so what I was talking about is sometimes when you take the hoop off and on, the fabrics that you have underneath can get flipped over. So just make sure that when you put the hoop on the machine, you kind of peek under there and make sure that nothing has flipped over and is not in the proper place. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, then you'll sew the top tack down stitch. And it's kind of hard to see, but it's just the shape of the egg to hold the fabrics in place. I tried to get real technical and draw a line to make it bolder, but it was not a good line, so I took it out.
I can see it.
All right, so then you're going to do the bottom part of the front. So you'll put the 6x6 piece over the zipper right side down and tape in place. And now this edge is right along the bottom edge of the zipper. So you'll tape that, take the hoop off, flip it over, and put the lining piece, same, lining it up exactly like you did before. Tape it in place, put the hoop back on the machine. And then you'll sew the bottom fold line. Once you've sewn that, you are then going to untape and fold the fabric back down towards the bottom half of the egg, and also do that for the back. So you're just repeating the same steps that you did for the top of the egg. So you can kind of see it coming together here. All right, once you've got the hoop back on, you're going to sew color 6, which is the bottom tack down and lining. So it's this little line right here. And then you'll continue stitching the front embellishments. So this was design number 1. So for design number 1, it was steps 7 through 11 for all the little flowers and dots and things like that. Once you've stitched 11, then you're going to stop and you're going to put the linings on. So what you want to do is take the hoop off the machine and flip it over so that you can see the back of the design. Now, there is a lining placement guide, and I highlighted it in black so so that you could see it. So usually when we have these designs where you're going to be overlapping 2 pieces of fabric, kind of like the back of a pillow where, you're going to overlap it and then you're going to turn it and right side out. We're doing the same thing here. And so our digitizers actually digitize these lines in here for you so that you know where to place your fabrics. One thing that I usually do, which I didn't do here, is I'll actually take a pen or a pencil and I'll draw these lines out a little longer so that I can really, see them when I'm putting it together. All right, so now you're going to take the folded pieces of fabric that you did early, that you pressed earlier. You're going to take the one that was folded into a 6x6, and you're going to align the fold of that with the bottom placement line. So this is the fold here, and it's going to be lined up right along that line there. Okay, makes sense?
Makes sense to me. I haven't heard anybody say it doesn't. If you guys have questions, make sure you ask them, and we will answer.
All right, and then you're going to then take the second piece, the smaller piece, and you're going to line it up with the top placement guide. And so it's kind of hard to see with the fabric already over it, but you can kind of see here, it's about a 1/2 inch overlap, and then you'll tape that in place. Make sure you tape it all good. Put the hoop back on the machine, and then actually you can do this before you put it on the machine, but this is one of the most important parts, and that is make sure that that zipper is open. So pull that zipper pull into the center of the zipper pouch, because if you don't do that, you're going to have a really nice project that you can never use.
Yeah, ask us how we know, right?
Yeah, exactly. I've done that once or twice. But that's the nice thing about mistakes. Once you've done it, man, you know what not to do next time. So then it's going to stitch a lining tack down. And so that's just holding that lining all in place. And do you see how in the picture that says back of hoop, we put that first piece down and then we put the smaller piece over it? Our digitizers, the way that they digitize, I think is so cool because they always take those stitches and go with the grain. So like that way, if this was on the top of the fabric, you wouldn't get the foot caught in that little fold. So
so the way that the direction of the stitches makes sure that that the flap is tacked down before the foot goes over, so you don't get caught underneath it, right?
Perfect.
Something sort of like that.
My words were deserting me.
I understand.
All right, perfect. Okay, so then after it's stitched that tack down, the last thing you're going to do is place the 6x8 back fabric right side down over the design and cover that whole design and tape it in place. And then it sews a seam stitch. So it sews this one is a really good seam stitch. There's like 2 different stitches, and then they have it like a zigzag stitch over all of it. So it's just a really nice finished seam. So once you do that, you're going to take it out of the hoop and you're going to trim close to the seam stitch. And you're going to be cutting through that excess zipper. And it's okay because it's all tacked down. It's not going anywhere. So the front's going to be that solid piece, and the back has that little opening, where they're lapped together. All right. So this is a turn twice. So you're going to turn it once through that opening, and I have one that I'll do here in just a minute. And you're going to think, oh my gosh, I did this wrong, because you're going to see the back of the embroidery and you're going to see that stabilizer right there over the zipper. So you've done it correctly. What you're going to do now is you're going to remove that ultra clean and tear from the back of the zipper. Okay. So you'll just tear it off. And if there's any little fuzzies, they'll go away after a while. And so tear that off. And then you're going to open up the zipper the rest of the way, and you're going to turn the zipper pouch through the zipper opening. And you're going to use the expert point and press tool, or a chopstick if you want, but the point and press tool is my favorite, to get all those edges poked out really nice. And then you'll press it. I press it on top of my pressing mat. The name just totally went out of
your press cloth, your expert press cloth.
Thank you. Expert press cloth. My goodness, I think I've been in the house way too long.
We all understand that.
Yeah. So, all right. So this is what the point and press tool looks like. It turns points and curves. It's great for all your sewing and embroidery projects. So it's a fabric safe stiletto. It has 2 point sizes. So there's a teeny tiny one on one side and then a little bit bigger one on the other. A nice non-slip body. And we revamped these. Was it this year?
Yep.
Beginning of the year? And now they used to be a rounded body. And that's how mine got lost, I think. It's probably underneath something in my sewing room. But now it has kind of a squared off body, so it doesn't roll off your table, which is wonderful. Other thing that I use it for a lot is my tiling seams. When I'm seaming them together, I steam my seams, and then I take the bigger end of the point and press tool and kind of run it over that seam to get it opened up. So it's a great handy tool to have in your sewing room. All right, so I'm back. Okay. So I have this egg right here that has not been turned yet. So I'm going to open this. I'm going to open up this right here. Turn that. Reach in. And it's always fun to try to do this in front of a camera.
I mean, that's how I do it on a regular, just at home by myself.
Yes, up in the air. All right, so I've got it turned. I can start kind of pushing this out with my point and press tool. But you see my stabilizer is here. And so I can take either my seam ripper, scissors, whatever, and just kind of grab a hold of that. Sorry, I had to do that on the table because it's not wanting to come out. And so once you do that, you pull all the stabilizer out. Maybe. Usually just pops right out of there. All right. I like to use my tweezers at this point a lot of times too.
That's all right. Just kind of show us generally. Yeah. We'll get it.
So yeah, it's coming out. And so then you're going to reach in, open up the zipper, and pull the rest of it through the zipper like this one right here. And then you'll take your point and press tool and you'll push the edges out.
I love that tool. I mean, the best part to me, and I think you said this, is that it's got that rounded end, because I know when I use chopstick or God forbid a pair of scissors or something, because we've all done that, and then you jab through your seam and then you say things under your breath that, you know, you probably shouldn't, but the big rounded end keeps you from, you know, jabbing through your project.
Yeah. And so, I mean, even though I haven't pressed it yet, it looks pretty uniform there. And this is the one that was kind of like cross stitch. And I just thought, how pretty just to do it.
Sweet.
Isn't that cute? Mm-hmm. So anyway, that is how to do the Easter egg. So any questions? I can't.
Well, we had a hoop size question, and that really just depends on your machine. The design is a little over 5 inches by about 6 inches on the Bernina. Yeah, that sort of large oval. So it really depends on your machine for sure.
I think like a 5x7 is really, you know, about right, don't you think?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
You know, that's one of those ones where it's going to depend on the machine you have at home, but for the most part, I'd say that's probably true. I don't think there are any other specific questions.
Okay. All right.
Which means you did a fantastic job of, of showing us how to make those. I will show everybody where to find the instructions again.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
You're welcome. I had fun.
Awesome. And we will see you again. Maybe you don't even know yet, but we'll find another time to have you come on and visit with us.
All right. Thanks, Carrie.
You're welcome. All right. So that was awesome from Kelly. She is such a joy to have here with us. So we're glad she could teach you guys how to do that. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them. If you're a member of our Facebook group, it's the Perfect Stitch. So if you're not a member, you can search and then ask to join. There's a lot of good question and answer going on in there. People ask questions about projects all the time. So if you're not a member of the Perfect Stitch with OESD, just search that on Facebook and ask to join, and we will happily welcome you into our fold. Let me really quick show you guys how to find this collection. As you know, you would just go to the website, and you can do a lot of things. If you remember the collection number, you can type the collection number in. I'm just going to type in Easter egg, because there might be some other cute things you might want to look at. So that'll bring up all of the results for Easter egg. And you can certainly scroll, you can sort, but when you find your collection, you're going to click there. And then as a reminder, preview sewing information is where you're going to find all of those instructions. So all the designs are here, the color information, and then the step-by-step, just what Kelly showed us. So if you didn't take notes or don't want to watch again, although I think that is more fun, you have all the instructions here to reference. So hope you guys all make those. And if you do make them, share them, send us pictures, post them on the Perfect Stitch, post them on our Facebook page. We love to see what you're doing. We really appreciate it. I hope you will join me tomorrow. We're going to talk about, this will be part 3 of our basket for all seasons embroider along. We're going to talk about the little extra accents that you can make to decorate your basket. I've got some stitching over on the other side of my room. I can't wait to show you. I love, it's been so fun to find different fabrics to use. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time, here in the same space. It's been lovely to spend time with you today. We will see you again tomorrow. Happy stitching.